Hello. It's indicative of this particular episode that upon watching it last night, which I've been badgering the good lady Dr. Collins to do for ages, and we finally got around to doing it last night, that I watched it and then promptly forgot to do a video. So it's now tomorrow. Hello, tomorrow. And I'm doing the video now. Now, this never happens. This never happens. Normally I'm very excited. I want to talk about it, whether it's been bad or good or whatever else like that. And I wonder why that's the case. When you have a cursory glance at the constituent elements of this story, you think, wow, this is going to be pretty tasty. Bar one thing. You've got an extended scene within the TARDIS to begin with. You've got some little cameo vignette things that have got historical leaning. The Beatles are in it. You've got Daleks. You've got nice interplay between the four regulars, of which they're the only humanoid characters apart from these historical bits. And you think this is going to be good, this is going to be really, really good. And then as it goes on, you just think, get to the chorus, will you? And I think when you reflect upon it, the reason's this. We've got the curse of the in the TARDIS scene. Now, I've probably said before, I think that scenes in the TARDIS, we covet them as Doctor Who fans, but they're generally crap. And this one goes on for ages. We get to see, first of all, we get Vicky going around the TARDIS annoying everybody, and that's great. That was brilliant. She knocks off the Doctor, she irritates Ian, and then she bugs Barbara, who's the only one that seems to be given any time of day. And that in itself is enough. Then we have the whole time-space visualizer thing, where we get to see Abraham Lincoln, Shakespeare, and the Beatles. And by the Beatles bit, you think, okay, this is like Doctor Who does pantomime. This is your children in need special, of which of course it didn't exist in 19 whatever. And so you think, okay. Then the Daleks sneak back, and we've had a taste of the Daleks, and we've landed on Iridius. Okay, it's a desert planet if you hadn't worked that one out. And in the traditional way of things, two of the TARDIS crew run off, and the other two stay and sunbathe. And then you see I'm struggling now. Then Ian and Vicky get menaced by a tentacle, and then a Dalek comes out of the sand. Okay, and as I've broken down that little menu, already it's not worked, has it? It's not worked. For a start, we know the Daleks are in it, so the big reveal at the end is pointless. And also, we had a big reveal exactly the same at the end of the first episode of the Daleks' invasion of Earth, where he came out of the Thames, which was much better than coming out of the sand, especially as when he comes out of the sand, it's quite clearly a model. Secondly, this story should be, in big bold letters, plot by Terry Nation, dialogue by Dennis Spooner, who's our script editor, because some of the dialogue's very snappy, very funny. They've got a good few jokes, really confident, bits of natter between our four regulars. The bit where the Doctor's singing and Barbara goes, "What a terrible noise," and the Doctor gets all stroppy, and of course she's referring to the time-space visualizer making a racket. Some of that dialogue's really good. Some of it's limp. All the stuff about, oh, we're running away, oh, and there was a castle, and there was a ring, and if you pulled the ring, then the castle's drawbridge would fall down and something grim would come out of it. But all that was crap. The real problem is the plot there's no plot really. You get 15 minutes of gibber, and then you get 15 minutes of running, 10 minutes of running around a desert planet, and then suddenly there's a cliffhanger, including the Dalek. It's not much of a cliffhanger when we know, and the two TARDIS regulars that see the Dalek know there's Daleks involved. So what you're relying on is a really good effect, like the Dalek coming out of the Thames at the end of the first episode of Dalek Invasion of Earth, irrespective of the fact that it didn't make any sense. But when you've got a model, and also the groany noises Daleks coming out the sand, oh, feeling a bit creaky now. Forgive me, but that was shite. So, as an episode, it kind of promises much and delivers meh. But there we go. Let's see what happens next.